Poliomyelitis. Poliomyelitis is caused by the poliovirus pathogen. The virus enters the body through the mouth and grows and matures in the intestines of the host. It then enters the bloodstream and infects cells in the central nervous system and, in the worst cases, infects the motor neurons of the brainstem. Poliomyelitis is spread when feces from an infected person contaminates something that is ingested by another, most commonly through drinks and food. Parts of the world with poor sanitation, such as Africa, are more prone to rapid spread of polio, as untreated sewage that comes into contact with foods or drinking water can spread the virus. The virus can be present in the feces from 7 to 10 days before the onset of symptoms and until 6 weeks after the onset of symptoms. The virus is able to spread any time during this period. The poliovirus attacks the cells of the central nervous system, causing muscle paralysis in any muscle of the body. The severity of paralysis varies, and paralysis that is still present after 60 days is usually permanent. When the body detects the virus, the immune response is triggered as normal to create antibodies and fight off the virus. However, in non-immunized hosts, the virus is faster and inhibits the innate immune response by preventing the cells from releasing adequate cytokines. This leads us on to vaccinations. The purpose of vaccinations is to prepare the body to fight a specific disease without exposing it to the major symptoms. This involves triggering the immune response by injecting a dead or weakened form of the disease into the host. As would with a normal pathogen, the immune response begins. The body recognizes the foreign antigen, and macrophages consume them to present them to the helper T cells with the help of the MHC2 molecule. The helper T cell then sends messages out to the body's B cells via the release of cytokines, and the B cells start producing and releasing antibodies specific to the antigen. These antibodies fight off the disease and are eventually stopped by suppressor T cells, which halts the immune response when the threat is over. However, memory T cell and B cells store information on this specific antigen, so the next time it enters the body, the immune response is much quicker to fight the disease off. Vaccinations utilize this function of the memory cells to prepare the body for an attack by a pathogen at full strength, by exposing it to the same antigen, however, weakened or dead so as to not cause symptoms. In Australia, a scheduled vaccination program is conducted on children as they grow up to maximize immunity to as many diseases as possible. This includes regular vaccines and booster vaccines for poliomyelitis, diphtheria, tetanus, hepatitis, influenza, and many more, at regular stages starting from birth and continuing to age 15. If the schedule is followed exactly, by the time a child is 5, they would have received a total of 41 vaccines, and around 60 to 70 by the time they are 15. As children of younger ages are at higher risk of contracting diseases, this vaccination schedule minimizes risk of development and spread of infection. The international spread of polio during the 1900s constituted a public health emergency of international concern under the International Health Regulations. To control the disease and decrease further spread, the National Immunization Program began including routine vaccinations of the inactivated polio vaccine IPV in 1956. Many countries took this program on board, including Australia, and in 2013, all states and territories had 90% or greater vaccination coverage for children at 12 months of age and at least 93% at age 2. These routine vaccinations were highly effective in eradicating polio. Routine vaccinations in Australia meant the country was able to be declared polio-free by the World Health Organization in 2000. In 2015, wild poliovirus type 2 was declared eradicated worldwide, along with type 3 not being detected for 3 years, and only 2 countries, Afghanistan and Pakistan, having reported wild type 1 polio cases. Overall, routine vaccinations beginning in 1956 and World Health Organization commitment to eradication of polio worldwide from 1988 decreased polio cases by 99%. Due to the worldwide spread of the smallpox virus, in 1959 the World Health Organization began the Smallpox Eradication Program to eliminate the disease. This first program was not effective due to lack of funds, shortage of vaccines, and many other reasons, resulting in smallpox remaining widespread in 1966, with regular outbreaks occurring across South America, Africa, and Asia. Therefore, the Intensified Eradication Program was launched in 1967 with new developments and procedures such as bifurcated needles and mass vaccination campaigns. The Intensified Eradication Program was highly effective in eliminating the disease in South America, Asia, and Africa by 1977. Through the use of vaccinations, the disease had previously been eliminated in North America in 1952 and Europe in 1953. And as Australia is geographically isolated, smallpox was not largely widespread and therefore was overcome easily with preventative vaccinations. In 1980,
the World Health Assembly officially declared the world free of smallpox, resulting in it becoming the biggest achievement in international public health. As a result of effective immunization beginning from the 1920s, diphtheria rates have dropped dramatically in many countries, however, not all. At the height of the 1921 epidemic, within Australia there are around 23,000 cases of diphtheria. However, due to routine vaccinations included in the Australian Vaccination Schedule in 1932 and other introduced programs, this dropped to 15 notified cases in 1992. These became the last reported cases according to the Australian Government's Department of Health report written in 2000. Furthermore, in the US, no cases of diphtheria were recorded between 2004 and 2008. However, in other countries, the disease was still present, with 4,190 cases reported worldwide in 2007, with high likelihood of an underestimation of the actual number of cases. Therefore, diphtheria vaccination programs were effective in some countries, however not worldwide.